Hello everybody, this is Kelly, the Property Hunter. Welcome back to our channel, the best place for property investors and homeowners. All right, today I'm going to talk about something called property ownership and what is it about and how is it going to affect you. Okay, so what started was, a couple of friends came to me and, she was asking me this very specific question that now she co-owns a HDB flat with her father, which she paid money for. And, she was asking in the event that, if the father were to pass on in the future, will the brother be able to be, entitled to any shares in that property? Okay, so this is the reason why I'm doing this sharing today, so that I can share more light about, the different types of property ownership, manner of holding, and how is it going to affect you. Okay, so let me just share my slides in a bit. Okay, so property ownership and how is it going to affect you? Okay, so the thing now is just 2 days ago, I came across this news article in the Straits Time, sharing with us, about this title, it's so, I was quite fascinated with this title. It's so catchy. When a joint owner does not inherit the property. So I clicked into it and I ran through and I read it. And, I realized that actually, a lot of people don't know about home ownership or the different types of home ownership and how it may affect you. So this is the reason why I'm doing this video, to share more light, hoping to, educate you guys out there so that you have a clearer picture, have a clearer understanding of what this is about and how you can go about safeguarding yourself as well. Okay, so when it comes to property ownership, there are actually two types or two manner of holding. One is called the joint tenancy, and the other it's actually called the tenancy in common. So what exactly it is and what is the difference in these two? Okay, so when it comes to joint tenancy, majority of us staying in a HDB flat, if you were to go into my HDB page, okay, just log into my HDB page, you will realize that majority of us falls into this category called a joint tenancy. Okay, so what is this joint tenancy? Okay, so joint tenancy basically means that the two co-owners of this property are seen as one entity. So the two of you, two owners to this property, when you are in a joint tenancy, you are seen as one entity, one body, one party. So which means there is no distinct difference, there is no segregation, there's no separation. The two of you are merged together as one. So what does that mean when you are in a joint tenancy with another person? It also means that there is something called a right of survivorship when it comes to joint tenancy. What does that mean? Right of survivorship means that, because you are seen as one entity, should one party passes on, the surviving party, the other party that's left behind, will automatically resume, or rather take over the property. Okay, and this whole property will belong to the surviving party. Okay, and this is regardless of will. Okay, let me just give you an example. Okay, for example, a father and a son, they co-owned a property together under joint tenancy. And when the father passes on, he actually left a will behind saying that he wants that his part of the house, 50% goes to the wife, the other 20% goes to the daughter, and then 30% goes to the son. For example, even when a will is being set, unfortunately, because they are in a joint tenancy, the right of survivorship takes over. So that will is actually, is not going to take effect. It's not going to take effect. The right of survivorship takes over, and this whole property belongs to the son. Okay, so if let's say guys, you are setting a will, for your children in the future, please go and double check on your manner of holding when it comes to home ownership and to make sure that it's not under a joint tenancy, but in another format, which is a tenancy in common, which I'll share with you in just a short while. Okay, so this latest, news article in the Straits Times, what caught my attention was that, the article wrote, right, that, why the joint owner, in the end didn't end up with a house. Okay, so this is what happened. The first thing is, the father and the daughter actually co-own this HDB flat, okay, as a joint tenancy. But in the end, the court actually ruled it, for the daughter, saying that because, it's a joint tenancy, the right of survivorship takes over. However, the family appealed, they went to the High Court, and the High Court judge ruled otherwise. Okay, he actually ruled that, according to what the father wants when it comes to the will, which is to give it to the son and things like that. What happened? Why is that so? Well, there are a few factors. Number one, okay, the daughter did not actually make any capital payment or any mortgage repayment or anything, make any form of payment for the house. Okay, so that's one factor. So for those of you who are in a joint tenancy, and if let's say you have actually used some of the CPF in paying for the house, then I think this will not apply to you. Okay, so number one, she did not pay anything for the house. Number two, for a period of time that she was staying there, she was actually paying rent to the father. So if let's say you are staying in your own house, why would you be paying rent? So this is what the High Court judge was saying. So that means that the father wasn't actually intending for the house to go to the daughter instead, and this is the reason why the judge ruled against it, and the daughter actually lost the house. Okay, but in most cases, guys, the right of survivorship takes over, and make sure that you at least use some of your CPF in there. Okay, then you can be safeguarded in that way. Okay, and for those of you who are owning this and you actually have a will set aside, so please make sure that you can actually ask a lawyer to resolve this joint tenancy and change the manner of holding into what we call a tenancy in common. So now, what is tenancy in common and what is the difference? Tenancy in common, basically, the co-owners, it could be 2 or 3 parties or several parties, they actually own the same property, right? But in separate, distinct shares. Meaning that, you own this part, I own this part. There is a very, very distinct difference. There's a clear separation. It's not a one entity, okay? And that shares can be unequal. It can be equal. It can be unequal. It's up to the co-owners to decide. For example, you can be, you want to have an equal share of 50-50. You want to have a 70-30. You want to have a 90-10. For some people, a lot of people that I know, also 99 and 1%. Okay, for example. Okay, so you can have all these unequal shares, and you can actually have a very clear distinction between the co-owners. Okay, which part and how many percent of the properties they own, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so the thing about tenancy in common is when one of the co-owner passes on, okay, the shares of that co-owner will actually follow the will. Okay, it will follow the will. So let's say it says go to my son, go to my daughter, my wife, it will follow accordingly. Or if there's no will in Singapore law, if there's no will, the estate of the deceased party will actually follow what we call an intestate succession act. So what does that mean? For example, if let's say you are married, okay, and you have children, 50% of your estate will go to your wife and 50% shared equally among your children. If let's say you are married and you don't have kids, 50% will go to your wife and the other 50% will go to your parents if they're still around, if they're still surviving. Okay, so I hope today's session has been beneficial and useful for you guys. So if you guys aren't sure, whether you are in a tenancy in common or in a joint tenancy, please, go and do a check. If you are staying in HDB, go and do a check under HDB, my HDB website. Or if let's say you have a private property, you can actually go to SLA website. Go and find a document called In List of Property Ownership Information. So go there and take a look, and you shall know all this. Okay. So, all right, thank you guys for joining us today. If you like this video, please click the like button, and do subscribe to our channel for more updates, more news, more tips and strategies on property investment. All right, I hope to see you guys again soon. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.